When you're going through a breakup with someone who has pulled the rug out from under you and you were in shock at the breakup, it feels like that blindsided breakup. You're going to be as far apart as you've ever been in the first few months of that breakup. And I'm going to start going through my book piece by piece and talking about some of the chapters. And one of them is called The Great Divide. And it's at the very beginning of the relationship when you are on completely different ends of the spectrum. You are in shock as to how well your person is handling the breakup and how poorly you are handling it. And if it has come as a shock to you, it's because you're not going through the same experience. A lot of times we'll say, how are they doing okay when I am such a mess? Like we're both going through a breakup. But I say, it's a different experience because the person that came to you for the breakup has mentally prepared themselves for it. So they've had time to think about what is life going to look like without you? How are they going to operate? What is their new life going to look like? And many times the person has already set in motion a soft place to land. So they might be talking to someone else. Unfortunately, I know that's a terrible thing to feel. Or they might be thinking about, who am I going to call once we break up? What is that going to look like on the other side? So at the beginning of the breakup, when you're trying to still put the pieces back together because you're so in shock, you're going to be talking to your person about all the reasons you can work it out, all the possibilities. You're reminding them of what a good couple you were. You're really trying to plead your case because you're in such a state of desperation. But on the other side of it, you're talking to someone who is ready for it. They've made that decision in their head. They've planned their path forward and then moving in that direction without really worrying about how you are going to get through it. So they're completely self-centered most of the time and can't really be talked out of it. So during the Great Divide, don't feel as though you ruined it now. You pleaded your case, you almost begged, you were desperate, you're emotional. That's bound to happen. They're not in a place to make you feel better about it because they are in a place where they are choosing their path forward. On this Great Divide, you're divided in a way that they have chosen a path forward. They're going to move away from you. They're going to move in a different direction. They're going to be doing different things, a different daily routine, different people in their life, a totally different way to operate because their job right now is putting their life together outside of you because for some reason they decided that life without you may be better or give them better opportunities than life with you. And I'm sorry to say all these things because I know how much they hurt, but I'm trying to give you an idea of what their mindset could be. So at breakup, they're planning that life. They're moving in the direction for the next few months of building that life, having different experiences, maybe hanging out with friends, going out a little bit more. They seem like they're okay because they seem to be stabilized. And in some way, they are because they've already told themselves a story, convinced themselves that this is the right decision, and this is where they sit in the moment. You, on the other hand, can't pick a path. You want to close the door and quote unquote move on and get yourself going in a different direction, but you can't because you love this person. You want to be with this person. You never wanted the breakup. So you are unable to choose a path. You're unable to go 100% in any direction because your mind is still a mess. It's still in shock. It can't believe this is happening. It is really in crisis. So don't be surprised if you're in that limbo stage for a period of time. Or sometimes I say the longest period of time. So you're in a different space than they are. You're as far apart as you're ever going to be. Things are going to settle a little bit more as time goes on. As time goes on, once they put their new life together, they're going to come down a little bit from that place and start sitting with the new normal that they've created. And then they have to weigh it against what they traded to get there or what they walked away from. You, on the other hand, are usually as low as you're ever going to be at the beginning because you just can't even get your feet under you. Your mind is racing. You're in total crisis. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You don't know how to function. You can barely get through 5 minutes of your day. Sooner or later, you're going to start to stabilize and you're going to come up just a little bit. So in the Great Divide, you're as far apart as you're going to be, but just hold out, try to just maintain, try to survive, try to get through your days every single morning. Just know this is where you are. You just have to get through today. In a little bit of time, they're going to be a little further down from where they are right now. Usually during the Great Divide, they're living their best life, so to speak. And so it's a very difficult thing to look at because you feel like they hit the ground running and you're still at the starting line. You didn't even know that you were supposed to be going through this and preparing and building a life. You were completely blindsided. And so they are not. Like I said, they thought about it, they prepared for it. They've imagined that life. They may have gotten a life going on the outside of you. Many do. And I know that's terrible, but this is how it usually plays out. So that's a chapter in my book, The Great Divide. It's right after the breakup, for some months after the breakup, where you are completely different ends of the spectrum. Don't expect them to be where you are, because they're not. But you don't be where they left you. Listen to me. You start getting through your days. Right now, you're not going to make a lot of progress in trying to rebuild your life because you're just trying to settle from the shock. That's okay. Survive this stage of the game. I shouldn't say a game, it's awful, but survive this stage of the breakup. Just get some people around you that you trust. Start leaning on people. Start getting a daily routine, a morning walk, a little bit of like deep breathing exercises, a meditation, possibly anything to kind of balance yourself and just get a little more stable in your day-to-day. Don't expect much of yourself. Just show up. There's something to be said for just showing up. So, Heal with Darlene, how to recover from a breakup you didn't want. I love every bit of this. I mean, I wrote it when I was in the thick of it, so I feel like it really gets where you are or where you could be. So, pick it up.